Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for following me or subscribing. Now, this is probably the most delicate one I have to deal with. I'm a little bit even nervous about approaching it because there's so many different categories in this one, and I want to make sure I give you the right tools for your dog. So this is how it's going to go. This is basically aggressive dogs, how to begin. Now, the first thing we've got to begin is which category does your dog fit into as an aggressive dog? Now let me quickly run through just some of them, okay, because this is what I have to deal with all the time, what I have to work out. There's a nervous, aggressive dog. Some dogs are just full of fear and very nervous of its own shadow, and sometimes they can be just in one of those bubbles of fear, and you go down towards it to reassure the dog, maybe it's in the corner of the house, and it feels like you're going into its space, especially when you're eyeballing it, and it can actually be a very nervous snap at you as you go near it, it's trying to just keep its own space really, but we don't know that, we don't see that when we go to try and reassure it. A very nervous aggressive dog. Or you can have another type of nervous aggressive dog, one on the lead, which has taken on a job that we've not asked it to do, but it's taken on an aggressive dog role. So somebody's coming towards us, but the dog's barking and yelling, barking at the other dog, trying to warn it off, and then as the person or dog comes closer, it hides between your legs. Basically, it's a dog which doesn't even like its own job. It's a nervous, aggressive dog on that job role. There's dominant, aggressive jobs. It could be the couch, could be its own bed, it could be a food bowl. And when you go near one of those objects, it's taken over or possessive of, it can be very dominant, aggressive. Like, hey, back off, this is my spot, I own this, and be very aggressive. The biggest problem with that is, even if you think, oh, it's its bed, it's allowed to have its own bed, as soon as you give it something to own completely, a little child runs through, you got a visitor, that dog will now say, whatever this child is, it's coming near my bed, I'm allowed to do this to defend it. So this is not the right message by trying to give our dogs ownership of something. We have to own it. They're allowed to use it as much as they want, but we are allowed to move them off any object without being growled at. And then we get a dominant dog, which is just dominant on a job role. So one of my most common questions is aggressive dog on the lead I have to deal with. And this is a job we've sometimes accidentally given them this job, or could have just picked it up. And it's always kind of slightly in front, looking and reading situations. Quite a stressful job to have, as it has to read which energy coming towards it could be a challenge, and it's barking or aggressive. It wouldn't do it to all dogs, maybe puppies or old dogs won't see as a threat, but certain types of dogs it'll be more aggressive to. And then there's a dominant aggressive dog, just overall climbing up the pecking order in the family and dominating your children or visitors as it thinks it's owning. It's kind of coming up that pecking order very quickly. And another one could be just a guard dog, which has been trained to guard dog. You could have walked into somebody's house without realizing it, shut the back gate, shut the garden gate, walked up to the house, and the guard dog comes roaring around the corner, doing his job. And how to handle that situation, because it's completely different tools for that situation than you'd use for on the lead situation. So this is why I call it the Pandora's box, not one shoe fits all on this one. So I'm going to try and break this down. First, I need you, if you have a dog which is aggressive, and you see that you have issues here, that figure out what type of aggressiveness it is. I'm going to start my next clip of doing the aggressive dog on the lead, and we're going to see how, if it's working well, I'll carry on with the other aggressives and how to use that, your body language and energy in the right way, so we can hopefully help it let go of that job or move on for reassurance. Okay, anyway, all the best. Isolation, we're still here, we're still doing it, you're doing great. I'm very pleased and proud to say New Zealand is on the curbside. Last 3 days our numbers are dropping fast, so we're very pleased to see this isolation is working. So keep strong and stay safe. God bless. Take care.